God is always faithful. Even in the midst of hard times, you be faithful to God and He'll be faithful to you. He's faithful to all, especially His children. He loves us so much more, everybody in existence more than they could ever know. And He is faithful and just. He takes care of His children. He'll never leave us. He'll never forsake us. If God has promised something, it will be. If it's in His will, it will be. You can be assured of that. You can be assured that God always keeps His promises. You can be assured that God does not make any errors in His judgment or who He sends or how He speaks through you. And just everything else, He's flawless. God is perfect. Sometimes it's a little bit beyond our understanding and our thinking. But that's okay, because you know what? If you could explain God with your 3-pound brain, well, I really honestly think that would take the fun out of serving Him and worshiping Him, honestly. We talked about that before a little while back, but it is so true. There's just things of God we'll never understand. Doesn't matter. We don't need to understand it all. We just need to always remember that God is faithful to us no matter what. The problem is sometimes we're unfaithful to Him. But we should do our best to stay faithful to Him. None of us walk in perfectness. I totally get that. Being a Christian does not mean you'll never sin again. But if you are a blood-bought, born-again believer, you will want to better yourself and become more faithful to the Lord in serving Him. And better yourself daily. I love you guys, and yous have a blessed night.